Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and I am psyched because today we get to start a brand new series. You've heard of Squid Game, everybody's heard of Squid Game, almost everybody's watched Squid Game. If you believe Netflix's numbers, it is their biggest property, period. More people have watched Squid Game than any other Netflix show ever. And that's saying a lot because there's been so much great content on Netflix over just the last decade. So it's time for me to give it a go. I've been wanting to react to this for a while, but the work situation just did not give me enough time to add a new show to the channel until now. And so I am psyched to dive into this new global phenomenon of a show. It's impossible to not know some things about Squid Game at this point. It's been around for a little over a month. It's been talked about. The teaser trailer on Netflix was almost impossible to avoid. So I do know the basics. I know that there is a game show in Korea, and basically it offers, I think it's something like 500 contestants, the chance to win enough money to solve all their problems. You know, it's a bunch of poor people who are willing to commit to this crazy game show for a chance to win. But the catch, obviously, is that if they don't win, they may die, which is bonkers, but not nearly as bonkers as we may think. It's not that far removed from reality, and this idea is almost a trope in science fiction and speculative fiction. It has been for a while. It goes back to the 70s with stuff like Running Man and the Most Dangerous Game, the Hunger Games. And this is the newest iteration of it. It's a Korean production, which I'm very curious to see their spin on it. I haven't seen a ton of Korean content over the years. All I can think of off the top of my head is Old Boy, which is an amazing movie. But I do know I need to see stuff like Train to Busan and Parasite. I know that there's a ton of quality Korean content out there that I need to eventually watch. But let's watch Squid Game first. I don't have too much more to say, so let's jump right into episode 1 of Squid Game. Oh, and one more thing before I get started. I have decided I will be watching this in the original Korean with subtitles. I feel that that's a closer approximation of the real show as opposed to the dubbed version. I know that both versions have their drawbacks. Translation is always an issue with both subtitles and dubbing, but at least I feel you get more of the original performance from the cast when you watch a subtitled production as opposed to a dubbed production, and therefore that's the avenue I'm going to go with. I hope that suits you. If it doesn't, I totally understand, but it's definitely my preference, and I think it's a little you capture more of the original intent of the show when you do it that way. So we'll do subtitles instead of dubbed. Here we go. This is going to be very interesting.
우리 동네에선 그 노래를 오징어라고 불렀다. 규칙은 간단하다. 아이들은 무리를 지어 공격과 수비, 기회를 노려 오징어의 허리를 가로지르면 두 발로 자유롭게 다닐 수 있는 자격을 얻는다.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
이유는 알 수 없지만 우린 그걸 암행어사라고 불렀다.
Is this a real Korean game, or did they make this up for the purposes of the show?
밖으로 나가면 죽는다. 그래, 죽는다. 만세.
만세.
결승점을 밟으면 그 순간 나는 세상을 다 가진 것처럼.
That looks like a squid. Okay. If you happen to be a Korean, let me know if this is a real game or whether this is just made up for the show. Either way, I think it's very cool. Red light, green light.
이거 뭐야? 나 주는 거야?
네 오늘 가영이 생일인 건 알지? 예, 닭이나 한 마리 세 먹이고 와.
Love Korean fried chicken.
치킨만 먹여? 생일인데 선물이라도 하나 사줘야지. 좀만 더 줘봐.
How much is 10,000 won? It's like 20 bucks. What is it?
비밀번호 바꾸셨네. 니네 엄마가 드디어를 버렸다. 엄마 생일?
Do you remember your mom's birthday?
모른다. 지 엄마 생일. 노인네가 매년 그 음력을 세가지고.
Oh yeah, Korean birthdays are really weird. Like you're one the day you're born, aren't you? 0608. What's 0608?
오늘 우리 딸 생일.
He's got a gambling problem. 6 and 8. It's his daughter's birthday. Okay. Is this going to be like Lost where the numbers really matter? 6 is coming on. 8's near the front. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. 6 to win. All right, he had a good day.
456만 원입니다.
아메리카노 한 잔 사드세요.
Is that all 10,000 won is? Is like a cup of coffee? Uh-oh. Somebody owes somebody something. Okay, that person's going to be irrelevant.
일단 이거 받으시고 나머지는 제가 다음 달까지 꼭.
Kid stole it.
아이고.
Gross. Noseblood's the grossest blood.
여기 심장 하나라. 여기 안구 하나.
That's a
그래 거기 구.
waiver of physical rights.
잘했어.
Okay.
죄송한데
Can I have my 10,000 back?
아까 드린 10,000원 좀.
Trying to get a birthday present.
무슨 뽕이야?
That's a mystery present. Bad dad. Bad dad.
가영이 생일 선물 사왔지.
Oh, he doesn't even know what's in there. What's in there? This could be terrible. It's a gun. Obviously a replica, but yeah, spin it however you can, Dad.
야, 그럼 이거 너 더 클 때까지 아빠가 갖고 있어야겠다.
그걸로 담배는 피지 말고.
아빠 담배 끊었어.
No, you didn't.
왜 이렇게 늦게 데려와? 얘 옷도 얇게 입었는데.
아우 10분 늦었다. 10분.
Well, Mom's certainly over Dad.
들어가.
Are we gonna learn this guy's name? Have we learned it? Did I miss it?
선생님, 저랑 게임 한번 하시겠습니까?
Okay.
선생님, 딱지치기 해보셨죠?
Kkoch-i. What's this?
저랑 딱지치기를 하셔서 한 번 이기실 때마다 10만 원을 드리겠습니다.
Okay, so what do you do? How do you play this game? So you just have to flip over the other guys by throwing it? This is
돈이 없으세요?
돈이
this is really a
그럼
game.
몸으로 때우시면 됩니다.
몸으로?
뺨 한 대 10만 원 까드립니다.
One slap for 10,000, 100,000?
한 판 더 해.
He doesn't mind getting slapped. Interesting. Maybe stop playing, dude. Finally, all of that for 100,000, which I'm guessing is like what, $100? So basically, he got
10만 원.
100,000 won to get slapped a ton.
성현 씨,
Oh.
오늘 신체 포기각서 쓰셨죠? 전직 드래곤 모터스 조립 1팀 직원. 10년 전 구조조정 당시 희망퇴직 후 치킨집 분식집을 열었지만 모두 실패.
현재 채무액 사채 1억 6천,
160 million?
은행 대출 2억 5,500.
Jeez.
빈자리가 얼마 안 남았습니다.
So he's in even bigger debt than I thought. 010 034. Is that just a phone number? I like trying to absorb as much as I can about Korean, day-to-day culture here.
상우 요즘 뭐 하나? 회사 잘 다녀요?
걔는 맨날 바빠. 지금도 외국에 출장 갔다.
이 자식 대학 가고 취직하고 나한테 술을 한 번 안 사.
쓸데없는 소리 하지 말고.
This guy's terrible with his money if he's about to give the cat
배고파?
The fish. But it's this is his literal save the cat moment. It's the screenwriting trick where we basically show that this is the good guy that we have to be cheering for, even if he has character flaws.
가영이가 니한테 별말 없더나.
She was gonna, but she didn't. They're gonna leave.
가영이 지금 애랑 새 남편이랑 내년에 뭐 경제적인 그런 것만 된다고 보면은 알을 찾을 수 있다 카대.
I'm not sure it's quite that simple, but I get we have to define his motivation.
네 진짜로 가영이 안 보고 살 자신 있나?
How did there are only 6-digit phone numbers in a country as populous as Korea, South Korea?
게임에 참가를 원하십니까?
암호는
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
Get in. You're the next contestant on Squid Game.
게임하는 데까지는 여기서 얼마나 걸릴까요?
Okay, knock him out. Had some really fun costume design there. Now we get to meet all the contestants. 4, 5, 6. Wow. So who is watching this? Who's broadcasting this? They have so much fun with like the symmetry and the design of this.
영감님, 말 시키지 마라. 헷갈려. 영감님, 저기 456명 왔네요.
And that's his number.
영감님 1등으로 오셨네?
And I was the last.
내 이 머릿속에 혹이 생겼대.
Brain tumor.
뇌 종양.
Okay. Was she the pickpocket?
널 여기서 다 만나네. 어?
Yeah.
네 눈가.
Okay, so we're not gonna like 101. It's a good way to identify everyone, though. I like that they're all just kind of numbered, because I'd have a terrible time trying to remember all the South Korean names.
너 맞네. 소매치기 너. 내 돈 내놔. 내 돈 어디 있어? 네가 시켰냐? 내 돈 훔쳐오라고? 이 개새끼. 내 깡패가 사러 죽여. 소매치기.
Okay. So mostly circles, one square. He's like the captain of are they guards, I guess?
이 자리에 오신 여러분을 진심으로 환영합니다. 여러분들은 앞으로 6일간
Six
모두
games,
6개의
six
게임에
days.
참가하시게 됩니다. 6개의 게임을 모두 이긴 분들께는
그걸 지금 믿으라는 겁니까?
218번 조상우 현재 손실액 6억 5천만 원, 107번 김미영 채무 5억 4천, 118번 어영욱 채무 10억 2. 저희가 처음 여러분을 찾아갔을 때도 여러분들은 저희를 믿지 않으셨습니다. 하지만 보시는 것처럼 저는 게임을 하고 여러분에게 약속된 돈을 드렸습니다.
I love the design of this all.
남은 인생을 빚쟁이들에게 쫓기며 쓰레기처럼 사시겠습니까? 아니면 저희가 드리는
상금이 대충 얼마나 되나요?
한 게임이 끝날 때마다 돼지 점통에 상금이 적립될 겁니다.
An actual piggy bank. That's hilarious.
상금의 액수는
Who's gonna say no? No one. Okay, so we're meeting a few. I'm sure we're gonna meet a few more. Player consent form. Not allowed to voluntarily quit. Refuses to play will be eliminated. Terminated upon a majority vote. Okay. So if enough contestants say it's over, it's over. A lot of this is going to be about desperation, isn't it? And this is presumably... Oh, wow.
야, 여기 뭐냐? 장난 아니다.
How much of this is built and how much of this is CG? Because this is... Bravo on the production design. It's just so disconcerting and surreal. Fascinating. So presumably one of these people is the guy that recruited them in the first place, the guy with the briefcase. But I also assume, based on the numbers here, they weren't all recruited by just one guy. This is all very MC Escher without actually, like, without breaking the laws of gravity. Okay. Another big-ass studio space by the looks of it? Or are we actually outside a building?
야 상우야!
Definitely a...
야 너 어떻게 된 거야? 네가 여기 왜 있어? 네가 빚이 있어? 아 쌍문동의 자랑 서울대 조상우가?
This is the front man speaking.
Oh.
Preparations for the first game are complete. You can begin now.
Was that always in English? Interesting if it was. So this is like a big internal courtyard. That's... the real world is out there, but they're still trapped.
첫 번째 게임은 술래가 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다를 외치는 동안 이후에 움직임이 감지되면 탈락입니다.
Playground games.
누가 먼저 골이 나나?
Oh, 324 is about to die.
5분 안에 술래의 눈을 피해 결승선에 들어오는 분들은
5 minutes.
324번 탈락.
Did he get shot? Yeah. Just like that. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Oh, this is going to kill so many people all at once. Don't move. Don't move. Oh man, this is so violent. I knew it was going to be violent and, you know, a lot of death, but I didn't realize it was going to be quite so bloody. Obey the rules. Obey the rules. Do not move. Now he takes the mask off to drink. That makes obvious sense, but look at all these. Some people were smart enough. Wow, we just lost, like, what? At least half the contestants. Probably more. Get up, get up.
앞사람 등 뒤에 숨으면 감지되지 않아.
2:15, 2:14.
시간 없어.
Oh, look at 67. She's a smart one.
지금 한 대 더 쳐줄까 네 뒤통수?
하지 마.
Running out of time. I feel like we've gone more than 5 minutes here. All right. This is so bizarre. Oh man, we're having fun with the blood. See what you can do with CG blood, everybody. Okay, so we know his childhood friend, we know 101, we know 67. They're going to be around for a while. And we know number 1. Yeah. Time. How much time? Oh no. Who saved him? Who saved him? 199. Who's the hero of 199?
I love you.
Wow. You owe that man everything. Man, there's like, what, 50 survivors? Maybe a few more than that, but that's like 80% of the contestants gone. What have you guys gotten yourselves into? And the roof goes... Oh, hidden base, secret island, it's all very Wow. Okay. Where to start? I've learned enough about the show just by existing for the last month that nothing that happened in this episode was truly surprising, but I am really impressed with the visuals of the show, how to put this? Yeah, the production design, like the design of the game itself, the visual aesthetic of it is fun and unnerving and disturbing and ominous as heck and different. It doesn't feel like anything that would happen in sort of a traditional North American or European aesthetic. And that's one of the things I really love about foreign cinema is it introduces very different aesthetics and tropes, and it's always interesting trying to decipher these things, because is it my am I missing something because it's a cultural difference, or is it something that we aren't supposed to get at all? I'm often asking myself those questions when I'm watching something from a culture that I'm not familiar with. And I'm definitely having a few moments like that in this show. Is our hero 456 song, is he supposed to come off as an everyman, or is he, how do Koreans interpret him when they meet him? I mean, obviously he's down on his luck. Obviously he's a gambler. He's divorced. He's on the verge of losing his daughter, perhaps forever. Like we understand his motivation, and we understand why he decided to enter the game. But is his personality supposed to be an everyman, or if you had a character like him in North America, perhaps he'd be considered a real hothead. He's very frantic in his energy. Without understanding the nuances of the culture, how do you interpret the character? And I always find that interesting. I'm looking forward to learning more. And we've got the slightest taste of a few other characters that we're obviously going to be, a few other contestants that we're going to be following through the Squid Game. The old man, number 1, with the brain tumor. 101, the thug with the facial tattoo. 67, who has a history with 101, and she seems very smart and devious, but she's the pickpocket that ruined our hero Song's day. We learn about his old childhood friend, I think number 218, who's surprisingly in debt. Who else is there? There's the guy that saved him from falling just meters from the finish line. So yeah, obviously, we're sort of introducing our core group of competitors, because when there's, over 400 contestants at the beginning, there's no way we can follow them all. And you also need that first game to be one that eliminates a ton of people. It's going to be very interesting to see how everyone reacts now that they can breathe and realize that their lives are on the line in the contest now. I have so many questions and I have so many thoughts. The Squid Game that we're introduced to in the very beginning, is that a real Korean game, or is that something that was made up for the show? I need to wrap my head around the conversion of won to dollars. It feels like about 1,000 to 1, but I'll Google that in time for the next episode. I'm just very fascinated. It's things like this obviously shouldn't exist, but I don't think we can say with 100% certainty that something like this would never exist, especially in the near future. We're living in a weird, disturbing world where the gap between rich and poor is greater and greater than it's ever been, and the wealthy have incredible power and liberty and immunity from the law that really applies just to the average man. Would it blow your mind to find out Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk thought about putting something like this together, and 5 years from now somebody of their ilk did just this? It'd be shocking, but it wouldn't be unthinkable. I guess that's what it boils down to. Squid Game, guys, I'm digging it. I really like the aesthetic, everything they sort of invested into the thought of the costumes, the set design, the design of the game itself. It's unique. It's vivid. It's jarring, and I heard that this was a violent show. Obviously, when you know that the contestants are going to get killed, that's going to be part and parcel of what you're about to see. But I kind of like that they aren't shying away from it. They're having a bit of fun with the blood, which is a weird thing to say, but they are. And I get that this might be off-putting to some of the audience, but it's surreal enough that I think most of the audience can kind of separate themselves from, detach themselves from it enough that it remains entertainment, and it doesn't. It's not like watching the same amount of blood, for instance, on a war movie. Then that might be more viscerally painful. But because this is kind of this hypothetical situation, we're a little detached from it, and we can be more observers as opposed to participants. Obviously the big mystery that they're kind of building up to is who's the guy in the black mask, not the ones with the circle or the circles or the square, but the sort of very angular facial mask. The guy who spoke the one line of English in the entire episode. Who is he? Presumably he's American, which is interesting, but I have no real guesses as to who. I don't think we're supposed to at this point, other than that he's an insane billionaire who thought it would be fun to have a game like this. Now, it's all being filmed and televised, but, well, we don't know it's being televised, but it's all being filmed, recorded, edited, at least for our audience of one, but the real wonder is, are there more viewers out there for Squid Game? Is there an Illuminati audience for this spectacle? Maybe we'll learn more about that in future episodes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this. I also just heard today that a second season has been announced. I really don't know what to make of that until I see all of season 1, but I think that's really exciting and encouraging. Obviously it's been a bit of a surprise global hit, and I can see why. I mean, it certainly grabs your attention after one episode, doesn't it? So, thanks to all of you for joining me. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. Until the next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.